had lost my wallet, and you know, I just kept going to the clinic, moving forward, because I lost everything in '92, trying to still keep that path going, and the comas and everything, and God has been there with me. I mean, I know that Yahweh has given me so much power, and Yahweh and Yahweh, that the power within me has been so strong that it has kept me going forward and moving forward. Yes. So I went ahead and went to court, and that day that I had gone to court, there was two women sitting on the bench. And one, I mean, they were both seeing, one just had a wonderful glow about her, you know, like a wonderful spirit, but she wasn't the one talking and passing, you know, judgment that day on people. It was the other lady, the other judge. And so when she got to me, she said, and I didn't even know what the tickets were for. It was just so long ago. And she said, well, you went across the railroad tracks and the train was coming and you could have killed people. And I said, you know, I already pleaded guilty, but let me just retract that, because now I do remember that day. And I remember being a mile away before this police finally showed up and said I crossed the railroad track. And I'm like, no, I didn't do that. So come to find out later, they were just at randomly, you know how it is sometimes riding while black. And it was kind of set up that way in a certain area, but they were giving everybody these tickets crossing that railroad track. Well, I was so busy, like I said, with everything else, I really forgot about the ticket and didn't know what was happening. And then we had the North Ridge earthquake, and the freeway was torn down, and it veered me to exit in the diamond lane. Well, this officer was pulling everybody over who only had one passenger and giving tickets. Well, I forgot about that. So as time went on, I just forgot about things, and lo and behold, here I have 4 bench awards. So she said, it's good that you turned yourself in, because if you had not came in to turn yourself in, you would be in jail by now. I said, yes, I understand that. And the other lady with this wonderful glow about herself leaned over and whispered something in her ear. She said, I don't know what really happened to you, but I'm going to give you some time to come back and maybe explain what's going on here. Because I'm telling her, you know, there's a lot that happened. I told her about the coma and hospital bills, almost $1 million. So listen, I know. So she said, I'm going to give you a week to come back. You have 1 week. So the next morning, I'm thinking, okay, I already have a ticket to go hear Winnie Mandela, because she was in town that particular, that day. And it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking, I can't do anything about this ticket at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to go ahead and hear Winnie Mandela speak. Now, mind you, this all happened in 2002. In 1992, I was in a coma. And that's the whole journey by itself. And also had major surgery, a surgery that I did not need. But while I'm standing in line, waiting to go in to hear Winnie Mandela speak, lo and behold, the surgeon is standing behind me who did my surgery in '92. Now I had to go back the following week to show evidence that all these things kind of happened to me. So I thought to myself, well, I didn't realize this doctor has gone through a lot himself, and he's had cancer, been in a coma, he'd gone through a lot. So I'm not going to bother him about this letter. I'm going to talk to the other doctor that I know that was on staff. Or better yet, go to the hospital and get a copy of the medical report. So I went to the hospital after everything was over. They said, we don't have a copy of that report. When I went into a coma, my kids didn't know my Social Security number, so all that time I thought I had $1 million bill. It wasn't even my Social Security number that went in. And then secondly, I ended up contacting one of the other doctors, and he said, okay, I can have the report for you that same week, but he didn't do what he didn't follow up and do what he's supposed to do. So this journey became longer and longer and longer. But I only had 1 week to pull everything together. And then this whole process, an attorney friend of mine said, well, just go to DMV and get a copy and find out what the rest of the tickets are. And I said, okay. And I didn't want to do that. I said, well, you're an attorney. Why don't you just pull the records? He said, no, you need to do that. So while sitting there, I just started meditating and praying. And I said, God, these are not my tickets. Whatever it is, I did not deliberately go up and cause this to happen. So when I walked up to the stand at DMV, the lady said, she said something, and I know I made a comment to her. And it wasn't for me to remember it, because to this day I don't remember what it was. She said, when I told her what I wanted to tell her, and I started laughing about it because I love talking to people. She said, it's amazing you said that. I was just praying over that. You just confirmed it. So then she got on the computer and she was just there forever. And I said, look, how long is those records? You know, because it's taking you a long time to finish to give me this report. She said, oh, no. Just go around there now on the other side and take your reading test and the vision test, and you're going to do the driver's test. But, you know, now we're up to the day that I'm going back to court. But in this whole process, the second day that I had gone back, the lady sitting on the bench was a lady who had this nice glow around her. And she said, and I was probably about the third person that day. The first time I was probably 86th person. And she said, you're going to have to be last, when I walked up to her. And I said, I am so grateful. Because whatever she's going to tell me, the people in this room do not need to hear it. I know that. So I waited, and I had this material, and I'm just praying and just giving thanks, just being grateful. This is all taken care of. So when she finished talking to me, I actually had paid $82 for 4 bench warrants. Now when I went back to DMV right before going to court, the wonderful lady at the courthouse, she had to have deleted my records. Wow. Because there is nothing on there now. Wow. So I'm telling you, the power of God and putting God first and asking. And I tell people, this was a long journey. There's more to it. But it was a long week journey. A long week of a journey. And I tell people, where did it start? It started with a hole in the tire. So anytime something happened in your life, it could be a flat tire, even sometimes you think you're going the wrong way, just ask, what is the purpose? A headache, ask, what is the purpose? Because there's usually something you have not resolved emotionally with the person, which is really important. Or with yourself. We have the hardest time forgiving ourselves. Forgiving others, we have the hardest time forgiving ourselves. So my topic is detox the mind, and then asking more or less, what are you detoxing? And then my practice, I start with, and I tell people it's like peeling an onion. And Queen Doctor here covered so much of it earlier, and it was just wonderfully put. Thank you so much. But the emotions and your thoughts is part of the detoxing. So she's covered so much of that, and I'm going to go a little bit more. She did more the mental, the spiritual, which is so important, but we have to also look at the next step is our mouth. And I don't mean what you say, I mean what is going on with your mouth when it comes to dental.
A man who faces the midst of adversity, right, whose strength is weak. Does that man look weak? Is anybody feeling anything weak? Are you feeling strong and mighty? Mighty, strong, bold, and courageous? Are you feeling like Yahweh? The Lion of Yahweh. The Lion of Judah. Are you feeling like Yahweh?